Hey everybody, it is day 30 of 30 and 31. 31 and 31? God damn it. Two movies left. This is the first of the last two. And I decided to save a classic for one of the last ones. And today's movie is Rosemary's Baby. Now, this is going to be one of the few times where I'm going to break my rule for the month. And I'm going to talk about stuff that there's going to be spoilers for. I have to assume that a lot of people that listen to me or have watched these videos or know anything about horror, unless you're pretty young, have seen Rosemary's Baby. It's a classic for a reason. Now, I get it. The beginning, I'd say the first hour of the movie is pretty slow. It's a lot of setup. They could have probably cut about 30 minutes out of this, but, you know, it's Polanski, so you're just going to have to take it for what it is. There's just way too much setup in this movie. But the second half of this movie makes up for everything. Because once it starts rolling, it rolls and it rolls. It's so good that if you haven't seen it, you should probably watch it. In fact, you can just pause this video and you can go watch it right now. I just want to talk about some of my favorite things and maybe some of the things that aren't necessarily my cup of tea. Now, I think, like I said, it's a tale of two halves. The first half, you have a lot of setup with getting to know Rosemary, getting to know Guy, being annoyed by the neighbors, and just kind of learning little things here or there where everything's not quite right, but yet at the same time, it's just kind of like, it's one of these movies. I mean, you get a big shocker right in the beginning of the movie when Terry dies, right? When she dies so early on in the movie, you're like, oh shit, I'm in for a fucking ride. And then it just takes a while. I mean, if you want to talk about slow burns, this is like one of the mother of all slow burns in terms of movies. You do get another little break when you have the scene that is kind of ridiculous nowadays, where Rosemary gets raped by the devil. Just in the way that it's all set up, but it's so beautifully shot that I love the cuts. I love how everything just seems like a dream, and even she doesn't realize that the things that are going on are real until it's way too late, until Satan's all groping up on her body. That's when all of a sudden everything becomes real to her because she didn't finish the chocolate mousse that Ruth had gave her. And can I say anything about Ruth that people haven't said before? That's a fantastic character, and it's acted brilliantly by I'm thinking about Minnie Castevet by Ruth Gordon. Ruth, what the hell? I'm just calling the actress by her name. She did win an Academy Award for this movie, and I kind of understand why. And I really like the way that character just travels with herself throughout the whole movie. Even though she's a Satanist, like at the end, she's just like, whatever. Oh, it's just this. I can't do a very good, stereotypical New York Jewish woman accent. It's just, and the guy that plays Roman, he does a pretty good job too, but he's a lot better at the end of the movie than he is towards the beginning of the movie. But I think that's just to kind of give you a sense of, normalcy, oh yeah, it's just an old guy. But they're not normal when they walk upon Terry, when she comes up to, they find that she's dead, and they're like, fuck, oh my god, I can't believe she fucking died. What are we gonna do now? We need another vessel for Satan, and that was our vessel. Oh hey, Rosemary, Guy, I think you'd make a good one. Yes, you would. And I really liked the little scenes of Roman seducing Guy. I think that those are good, and it's not that type of seducing, okay? Maybe got the tip in. I don't know, but it still gets him to go along with the plan. And even towards the end of the movie, when he's trying to in that big famous scene at the end of the movie, and he's trying to convince Rosemary, look, we can have more kids. Everything will be fine. Just think about what we're going to get out of it. He didn't care about her well-being. All he cared about was all the fucking riches and fame that he was going to get by allowing her to get fucked by the devil. That's it. And she realizes it at that moment. So, the big scenes that I like a lot. I like, it's again, the devil scene towards the middle of the movie, because I just like the cuts. I think that she goes from all these different experiences, one after another, and it feels like it's a lucid dream, until that point that she realizes it's not a dream. And like Mia Farrow does a very good job, like showing you that transition. And her character is also like Mia Farrow's acting is a tale of two movies too, because the first half of the movie, I think that her performance, which seems like a lazy performance in The Last Unicorn, is way better than the performance here. But once everything starts turning into paranoia, it's fucking brilliant and it's fantastic, and you can really, really like identify with her as a character and what she's kind of going through, because no one will believe her. Everybody just thinks she's crazy, but as she knows, you know, eventually they're all in on it. So of course they're all going to believe that she's fucking crazy, right? Because she is fucking crazy. No, because they are doing what she says they're doing. So it's like, what the hell, man? Like, and then I like the scene too where she goes to the doctor and she goes to the other doctor. There's the scene outside in the phone booth, and just like the tension that builds with that, because she's trying to do everything that she can to make sure that she gets the phone call back from Dr. Hill, and she goes and she hits the phone, you know, the tap, and honestly, it made me believe like it's one of those movies where I wonder if, like, you know, some people nowadays saw it like me going back and watch this movie, everything like this like was a regular in society, right? Phone booths and all this stuff. There wasn't anything like really weird out of place other than fashion, right? But I could imagine somebody nowadays, like in 2020, watching this movie and being like, especially if they're young, what the fuck is that? Phone booth? What the fuck's a phone booth? You know, those things, it would be really weird, and somebody would have to explain, this is just the time. But that whole scene is so well done, and so, like, how it's, you know, you see the guy lean against the phone booth, and you see the white hair, and you know all the white hairs are the ones that are all involved in this whole thing, and even she doesn't know, and she's, like, freaking out, and then the guy turns around, and it's nobody you've seen before. And then even she has a sigh of relief. Like, it's really good filmmaking. It's a really well done scene. And then of course, you know, you have the big ending. The big ending is very good as well. I do like the scene in Dr. Hill's office, where she's basically trying to get help, and he really doesn't fucking believe her, but he's just kind of going along with it to the point that he's like, okay, I've got the name of the doctor. Oh, I totally get it. Yeah, there's witches and there's demons and shit like that. Yeah, it's totally cool, totally okay. And then he calls the doctors and everything, and she freaks the fuck out. And then there's that great running scene, you know, as she's trying to escape him. It's not really a chase scene, but it's filmed like it's a chase scene. Like, she really is being followed. And she is. I'm not saying that she's not. But at the same time, you really don't see anybody run after her, because she's pretty damn clever as a main character. And of course, the last scene is just, it's like an instant classic. If there's anything that you need to see, it's the final scene of the movie. Like, that whole sequence. And it's not because it's like it's a twist or a revelation or anything like that. At the time, it probably was a big twist. Like, oh crap, you know, oh, the baby's dead, but that can't be right. You know, because even she doesn't fucking believe it. And then you get there and the baby's alive, but you never see the baby, which I think is great. I think the less you see, the scarier that the situation is, especially if you're looking in on the crib. Like, you want to see it, but everybody's so happy, you know, that everything's there, and she's the only one that's disgusted. And just the reaction of everybody there, from I forget the character that has the big like Coke bottle lenses. She's probably very farsighted, because that's the way everything looks. And that's my job getting in the way, by the way. But it's just like everybody there is pissed off at her every time she says God. Like, it's not a scary scene as it is a funny scene to me. Like, it starts off kind of scary. You feel sad, so sad for Rosemary, but then you just like laugh at everything that's going on in that scene. You just sit there and you're just like, man, this is ridiculous. You have the very stereotypical Asian guy that's going to be taking all the photos. It's a sign of the times of the movie. And you have all these people visiting, and they're so excited, and she's just like speechless. And then you have Minnie come by with the tea. She's like, here, drink this, you'll feel better. And she's like, what's in this? Taproot? Or whatever the thing is, or this stuff. She's like, no, it's fucking Lipton. Just drink it. You'll feel better. It's like, it's perfect. It's so good. And then, of course, like the final scene of the movie, the final shots of the movie are utterly brilliant for what it's done. The fact that you see her, she even goes over to Roman, and as Roman's like the old one lady, she's rocking it too hard, the Coke bottle glasses lady, and then you have Roman look at her, and he starts after she says, "You're rocking it too hard," Rosemary says, and then he's like, "Okay, well, come here and let her do it." And the one is no, because she's been saying God and all this stuff, and she doesn't believe in this shit, or she's not a Satanist. And then you have Rosemary approach the bassinet, and when she approaches the bassinet, slowly but surely, she starts taking over the rocking, and she even says, "You want to make me its mother." And then Roman looks at her, "Well, you are its mother." It's such a great little scene, and then the smile slowly that comes on her face as she's rocking the bassinet that has the child of fucking Satan in it. How can you not love that shot? Like, how can you not love just that little smile makes it so good. So good. So, if I'm going to, I have to rate this movie like I do. Well, I don't necessarily have to, but I do. I rate these things. And I'm going to give this, it's a 4 out of 5. I don't know. Satan balls. 4 to 5 Satans. It's the reason I don't give it a 5 out of 5, and really a 4 out of 5 in my rankings. People that have been listening to me, like 5 out of 5s are really just like the films that stick with me forever, that I can watch anytime. I have to be in the mood to watch this movie. And when I started thinking about cults, this was the very first movie that I thought of. And because the beginning is slow, that's what really makes it a 4 out of 5. The second half really does make it a very fun movie and very entertaining. But you have to go through a lot, and I mean a lot, to get to that point. Cut a good 20 minutes out of this movie, golden. I think that there's a lot that's going on that could be faster paced. But I think that it's, at the same time, it really is needed to give you that impact of the end of the movie. So I thank you guys very much for watching. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this whole month, those that have there watched it. Don't forget, there's more videos that are going to be up there on the screen in the playlist once the little music starts and everything like that. And tomorrow is Halloween, the end of the 31 and 31. And I've got a couple of things that are going to be very fun for you that are going to get released basically on the same day. So thank you guys very much. I'll see you next time on another one of these 31 and 31 Nights of Horror Camp Cult reviews. See you later.